Of course, the lawlessness on student loans is predictable. I mean, the Democrats have to buy votes wherever they can and manufacture those that they can as well. They've got to figure out a way to win, which, of course, and speaking of lawlessness, is why the border remains wide open and illegals are getting dumped into certain zip codes. Congressman Ronnie Jackson slamming Democrats for dumping hundreds of thousands of illegals in specific places around the country with a specific intent. The intention of stealing an election, obviously. Here's what he said.
326,000 illegal migrants were flown directly to Miami with no advance notice to the governor.
Well, Maria, that tells you all you need to know about whether Joe Biden actually wants to shut down the border. He doesn't want to shut down the border. This is all by design. We've been saying this since the beginning, and that proves it right there. You know, if we shut our border down in Texas, which we're working hard to do that with our DPS and our National Guard, we are shutting our border down in Texas. It's going elsewhere. But if other states try to do that, he's just going to fly them in. I mean, he wants these migrants to come here. There's a reason behind all of this. You know, it's whether they think they're going to get them registered to vote, or they think it's going to affect the census or the number of electoral votes that they're going to get in certain states. This is by design, and I think that, you know, it's unbelievable that he's getting away with this.
Okay, so let me tie a couple things together for you here today, can I? The open border and the invasion by 14 to 20 million people in just 3.5 years, and the economy they keep bragging about at the White House. All of these things. You know, that big jobs report was mostly immigrants, both legal and illegal. That unexpected jobs report, 300,000 plus, yeah, it didn't benefit you or your neighbors, generally speaking. It benefited people that are in the country that are probably in here illegally. Listen.
Friday's jobs numbers could be revised down after that happened with 12 of the past 14 reports. On Friday, the Bureau of Labor Statistics did report 303,000 workers were hired last month, but the job gains have largely gone to foreign-born workers, both legal and illegal immigrants. From February 2020 to this past March, the number of migrant workers grew to 3.4 million, while the number of U.S.-born workers declined by 78,000 over the same period.
All right. In the effort to keep the border open, put a finger on the jobs report, among 100 other things, and impacting elections should be perfectly fine with you, unless you're a white supremacist. Yeah, that is the latest talking point being tested by the Democrats, started this week. Outgoing Congressman Dan Kildee of Michigan says if you don't support illegal aliens, you're a racist. Yeah, I wonder if he has taken that $500 a month from Governor Whitmer at home to house an illegal alien. That's the offer from the Michigan governor. I'm going to guess he hasn't. Here he is.
For whatever reason, there's a cohort of the American people, and I can't psychoanalyze them entirely, but I've got to believe part of that is that he does appeal to their fears, to their anger, to their sense that somehow they've been wronged. And rather than deal with the core inequities in our system, he finds a villain. And the villain happens to be people who don't look like his base, who speak with an accent, who come from somewhere else.
This is a test balloon message, by the way. And Kildee is the one delivering this message on several platforms. And they sent Kildee because he has announced his retirement. Did it a few weeks ago. So if it doesn't work, no big deal. They can cut him loose, but they're going to test it out. Here's some more of what he said.
This is really a question about who we are as Americans. We are a nation of immigrants. But what Donald Trump is trying to do, in the name of his own political expediency, is to normalize bigotry again, to make it okay to hold those bigoted views and to try to motivate people to act on the worst instincts that they all carry inside them. And unfortunately, what he's doing is deciding that that's going to be the focus of his campaign.
But I don't think this whole border thing ends well for the Democrats at all, or America for that matter. In Ohio, for example, the biggest issue of 2024 is also the wide open border, and Sherrod Brown is among those who made that open border happen, made it a reality. Here's how Republicans are coming at Sherrod Brown.
It's terrible when we take people, when we are taking immigrants and we throw them out of this country. We have no business doing that.
The way Sherrod Brown sees it, the more the merrier. Brown rolled out the red carpet for illegal aliens. voted to allow funding for sanctuary cities, voted to give welfare benefits to illegals, voted against more border patrol, voted to give amnesty to millions, including lawbreakers.
Why do you think Ohio has become such a magnet for fentanyl?
I don't know that Ohio's a lot worse than other states.
But it is, because the magnet is our Senator, Sherrod Brown. Brown voted to let criminal illegals enter our country, violent felons, child abusers, gun runners, and drug traffickers.
We can't stop it all from coming in.
Your colleague wants to see these cartels labeled terrorist organizations. Where are you on this?
Well, I'm agnostic on how we label them.
Warning, Sherrod Brown is dangerously liberal and wrong for Ohio.
Well, Democrats are making their party increasingly unpopular with everyday Americans. Now it's on everyday Americans to actually show up and do something about it. After all, like President Lincoln said, this is supposed to be a government of the people, by the people, and for the people, not the other way around.